Hello and welcome to another edition of Mailbag. What is Mailbag? Well, Mailbag is a feature of the channel where you guys leave lots of comments on the channel and I attempt to answer those comments, or if I can't answer those comments, I throw it out to you guys who have more knowledge on some of this stuff than I do. So let's get into the first mailbag of this session. Remember, like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Go over to Instagram and follow me there. Go over to Facebook, follow me there. That's where the normal notices are. And consider becoming a Patreon. The next comment or question comes from m.ambient in response to how good a copy is the Roland JX-03 compared with the Roland JX-3P video I did in December 2023. And this was where I had my friend Gary's JX-3P here, so I just thought I'd stick them side by side and run through just playing with the keys, whole thing midi'd up, and see what happened. And I was quite impressed with it, I have to be honest. Anyway, M. writes, the biggest differences between the two are the JX-03 is only 4 voice, while the JX-3P is 6 voices. Also, the JX-03 sequencer is only 16 steps, but has 16 patterns, to the JX-3P's 128 steps and only 1 pattern. I'm not sure about the JX-03 sequencer, but the JX-3P's is polyphonic, though it's a right pain to program the sequencer polyphonically. Yes, I realise that. It's worth noting that the JX-3P sequencer did not respond to MIDI. You have to trigger the sequencer from an external device to sync it to other gear. The Roland drum machines like the TR-707 could be MIDI controlled and send out triggers to run the sequencer. Do you know what? I didn't know that. Sadly, they're limited the JX-03's memory to slots to just 16, whereas the JX-3P had 32. Both had 32 factory presets, most of which, to be honest, really suck. That decision to limit user presets is baffling, considering the memory in 1983 was way expensive and it's freaking cheap today. So why limit the new version? Some design decisions are unfathomable sometimes. Now, the JX-03 did add a delay, some extra DCO waveforms and a delay on the LFO, but with limited polyphony, a less powerful sequencer and few user presets, plus a horrible boutique form factor. It's not for me. And the boutiques are not for everyone, I agree. That said, I've owned a JX-3P since they came out, and with a PG200 programmer, mine got stolen. It's a nightmare to program. The PG200s go for as much as the synth does now, and that's really true. There's a modern programmer, third-party programmer for it. There's a modern third-party programmer for it that would really up the JX-3P's usefulness. The PG2K from Retro, I can't even pronounce this company's name, Retroactive, isn't it? But that goes for $675. Now, when I did the video, I wasn't really comparing functionality of the unit. I was just trying to see how close the tones were that were generated by A over B. And that's really what the video was about, was really just looking at the tones. Because I mean, I could do a functionality video, but I had Gary's machine here, and I thought, well, I'll just, you know, size it up against the boutique just to see what I thought of it. Now, you know, there are a lot of pros and cons over the original and the reimagined machine. And as I said, some design decisions, you just wonder, why did they do that? I mean, especially nowadays, you know, memory is cheap. Chips are not cheap, but they're cheap in the scheme of things. So, you know, most musicians, to be honest, will buy the boutique for sound replacement. or they go to the Roland Cloud and download the Jupiter VST. Oh, sorry, not the Jupiter, the JX-3P VST. And the feedback I've had on the JX-3P VST is actually very, very good, compared with some of the other cloud incarnations that they've put out. Anyway, that aside, the boutique is a good alternative if you can pick it up at the right price, if you just want tones and don't have the space to host a keyboard. That's kind of my impression. And M. writes back, I did understand. I really just wanted to make clear the other differences. There's a lot more that goes into making a complete character of a synth than the sound engine. The 4-voice limitation on the JX-03 would be the biggest and most noticeable difference. Note stealing will become an issue much, much quicker. Anyway, thanks for the video. And thank you for the feedback. And as I say, my conclusion on the JX-03, I have to keep getting that right, is that tonally it is very, very close. And if you go and watch the video, if I remember, I'll put a link to the video in the notes. But if you go and watch the video of one against the other, where I'm swapping in and out of just playing simple notes on the keyboard, nothing fancy, and I'm swapping in and out, you struggle. You know, there is a difference. You can hear a difference, but it's not noticeable. People would not notice it if you were using one over the other in your mix.